Some things don't announce themselves with fire. They come in quietly and take their time. A warmth that builds beneath the ordinary. A feeling you can't name until it's yours. I didn't notice it at first arriving. The way it settled gently in my days. But slow things have a permanence that flash things don't. And this one stayed when everything else moved. I have known the kind of love that dazzled, that came in loud and took up all the air. It burned bright and it burned fast and it burned out and left me standing in the empty after. But this is different, this is underground, a river moving under everything I do. I find it in the places I stop looking, and it finds me in the quiet of the true slow burn, the best kind there is. Slow burn, building into this. Not the firework and the fading, but the hearth that keeps on glowing. Slow burn is the one that lasts. Let it take the time it needs. Don't rush what wants to deepen. The slow things earn their permanence in ways the quick things never do. A slow burn is a promise that the warmth is being built to stay, and what is built to stay is worth the waiting for. Slow burn, I trust this now. Slow burn, I'm learning how to let the good things come in slowly, and to let the roots go deeply. Slow burn is the one I choose. Slow burn, still burning, still warm, still warm. There are places inside me that no one has been to, not because they're hidden, but because they're quiet. They don't announce themselves or ask for visitors. They simply wait in case someone is patient enough. I have only found them in the long hours when the busy world has finally gone to sleep. In the unmapped places I immerse myself without the usual translations. I tried for years to chart them, for another to hand them a map of what I couldn't show. But maps of inner countries are imprecise, and the territory keeps on shifting. So now I take people there by other means, by the things I make and what I let them hear, by the way I sit with silence, by the spaces that I leave inside my words. The unmapped places are where I live the most. The unmapped places are not a thing to boast, but a wilderness of self that keeps on growing to a life for any kind of show. In the unmapped places are the realest parts of me. If you wanna know me, don't read the summaries. Come and walk a while in the less traveled territories. The unmapped places take some finding, but the finding is the point. What is easy to arrive at is rarely what you came for. The unmapped places I am learning to be proud of. The unmapped places are the ones most worth the loving, not the polished and presented, but the wild and the uncharted. The unmapped places are where I'm really from. The unmapped places are home. Come home. Come home. Silence used to make me uncomfortable. I would fill it with whatever came to hand. Words and music and the hum of something running. Anything to keep the quiet out. But lately I have started listening to what the silence has to say for itself. And what it says is fuller than I expected, and what it offers is more generous than noise. Silence knows the things that words skirt around. It holds the feelings that don't fit in sentences. It is the pause that carries more than speaking, the held breath that contains the whole of something. I've learned to sit inside it without flinching, to let it press against me like a friend. Silence is not the absence of the something, it is the presence of the everything unsaid. A conversation with silence is the one I needed most. A conversation with silence is the one I was afraid of. But in the not speaking, something finally was heard. A conversation with silence said more than all my words. Outside it for a moment, let the quiet be your company. A conversation with silence doesn't changed the way I listen. A conversation with silence showed me what I've been missing. In the gap between the sentences, in the rest between the notes. The conversation with silence was the most important one. A conversation with silence is ongoing, still ongoing. There was a year the light changed. I noticed it in the way the mornings fell. Something had shifted in the angle of arriving, and everything was illuminated differently. The same rooms held a different warmth. The same streets offered different shadows. I don't know what had altered in me, but the light agreed that something had. It was the year I stopped pretending that the life I had was not the life I wanted. The year I let the wanting be admissible and started listening to it more carefully. The light that year was not more beautiful in any measurable or quantifiable way, but I was more available to beauty, and the light responded in kind. The year the light changed, everything was possible. The year the light changed, I became more visible, not to others but to my own eyes. In the mornings and the evenings, the year the light changed, I finally came into focus. I can't tell you what was shifted or when the change in light will come for you, but I can tell you that it comes to those who open to receiving. The year the light changed, I was simply ready to be lit from somewhere I hadn't thought to look. The year the light changed, I wrote it in my body. The year the light changed, I found what I'd been looking for, not outside in the world, but in the way I let the world arrive. The year the light changed was the year I changed. The year I in a straight line. That much I can tell you from experience. It doubles back in circles and surprises from directions you thought you'd already cleared. I have been mapping mine for several years now, noting where the landmarks are and aren't. The cartography of grief is always shifting. The territory refuses to stay still. There are regions where it's very dense and close, where you have to move through it slowly, and regions where it opens unexpectedly into something almost beautiful. I have found that the grief country has its gifts, things growing in the difficult soil. A tenderness toward other people's loss, the knowledge that the heart can hold more than you thought. Cartography of grief is the map I didn't choose. Cartography of grief is what I had to use, but in the mapping I found something like a purpose in the going. Cartography of grief showed me how much I love. If you are in the middle of the grief country now, and everything looks like more of the same, hold on to the fact that maps get made by people who came through. The cartography of grief is not the story of the lost. It is the story of the one who kept on walking and eventually found the edge. Cartography of grief, I know it by heart now. Cartography of grief has its own kind of art now, in the dark and in the doubling back, in the unexpected clearing. Cartography of grief became a map of Home is not the building, it is the feeling, the particular warmth of a familiar threshold, the way a space absorbs the lives lived inside it, until the walls themselves remember who you are. I have lived in many architectures, but home arrived only in certain ones, and always for the same recurring reason: the people who agreed to be the structure. There is a physics to the feeling of belonging. Something in the molecules relaxes. The body recognizes what the mind is still deciding. You are held here, you are known here, you are home. I have felt it in the improbable locations, in borrowed rooms and temporary shelters. Home was never the coordinates or the postcode. Home was was always the agreement made between two people. The architecture of home is built of something softer. The architecture of home is what the people offer. Not the rooms and not the windows, but the choosing to be present. The architecture of home is love made into structure. The architecture of home is love made into structure. When the building changes or is gone, when the address is no longer yours, the architecture of home can be carried in the people. I have taken mine with me through every relocation. The architecture of home lives in who stays with me. The architecture of home is what I'm building always. The architecture of home is what remains when all else changes. In the choosing and the staying, the returning and the making. The architecture of home is love that knows your name. The architecture of home is love is always love. When the party's over and the guests have gone, and the ordinary has reclaimed the house, what remains is what was always really there. Underneath the occasion and the noise, the relationship before the celebration, the self before the effort to present it. What remains when everything is taken back is the most honest thing you have. I have been interested in what remains, in the people I have known across the years. Not who they were when everything was shining, but who they were when things got hard and late. What remains in someone after loss? What remains in love after the ease is gone? What remains in me when I am not performing? That is the thing I most wanna know. What remains when all the rest is lifted? What remains is the thing most gifted. Not the highlights and the moments, but the substance and the texture. What remains is what was always true. Strip away the circumstance, strip away the favorable conditions. What remains in you when nothing is supporting it? This is the most important question and the most important answer. What remains when nothing has to is the thing most worth becoming. What remains after everything? What remains is the offering, in the quiet and the aftermath, in the honest and the simple. What remains is all I need to be. I was not always good at tenderness. I had learned to lead with capability, to show the world the competent exterior, and save the softer parts for no one. It felt safer to be useful than to be vulnerable, to be admired from a suitable distance. But something in me knew the cost of that, and kept a tally of what wasn't given. Tenderness arrived the way most things have, not planned and not by my own effort. In a moment when my guard had simply lapsed, and someone caught me being ordinary. They didn't treat the ordinary as less, they held it with a kind of careful reverence. And I understood that I had been withholding something that the world had been waiting for. Learning tenderness is still in progress. Learning tenderness is the ongoing gift toward the ones I love, toward the ones I don't yet know, and most of all, toward myself. The world has enough of hard and capable. It has an oversupply of armored. What it needs and what it reaches for is the person willing to be soft. Learning tenderness is not weakness, it is the most demanding practice, to stay open in a world that closes, and to offer what it needs most. Learning tenderness. I have been watching trees for years now, in the way that only the unhurried can. And I have noticed that they do not rush toward any of the things they're moving toward. The growing happens underground before it shows. The reaching happens slower than the eye can track. And yet they arrive somewhere magnificent without a single act of urgency. Patience of trees is not passivity. There is enormous energy inside that stillness. A whole life's work of quiet determination happening beneath the bark and in the roots. I wanna grow the way that trees grow, with that particular combination of deep roots and long patience, and the faith that the light will come to meet me. The patience of trees is what I wanna practice. The patience of trees, with their roots in what matters, not the rushing and the striving, but the deep and the arriving. The patience of trees knows something I need to learn. Every tree was once a seed that did exactly nothing, visible for a season, and then the nothing visible became the most visible thing around. The patience of trees is faith made into action. The patience of trees trust the process without proof. The patience of trees I am practicing slowly. The patience of trees is teaching me gently to send the roots before the branches, to build deep before building upward. The patience of trees is the kind of grace I want. The patience of trees is the grace I want. The grace I want. I am doing honest work these days, not glamorous and not particularly noticed. But when I lay it down at the end of the day, there's nothing in it I need to disown. Honest work has a particular way to it, a satisfying and uncomplicated heaviness, the kind of tired that comes from genuine effort, rather than the tired that comes from pretending. I have done both kinds and I know the difference. The pretending tired leaves you more depleted. There is nothing in it to recover from, because there was nothing given. But honest work, however small or ordinary, builds something that the other kind can't touch. A record of the self that can be stood behind, a life that doesn't need revision. Honest work is what I'm asking of myself. Honest work, whatever else is on the shelf, not the most impressive, not the most rewarded. Honest work is the thing I'll be proud of. At the end of everything, when the accounting comes, I don't want the tallied highlights, I want the honest sum. Every day I try to do something real and unperformed. Honest work is the life I'm building toward. Honest is enough for me. Honest work is enough, is more than enough. There is a particular feeling of homecoming that has nothing to do with geography. It happens when you find yourself again after a long time of being someone lost. Not lost in the dramatic or the obvious sense, but lost in the accumulated small deviations that take you far from yourself without announcing that a distance has been growing. The homecoming can happen anywhere, in a piece of music or a sudden memory, in the face of someone who knew you before the drifting, in the unexpected return of something long forgotten. The feeling is unmistakable and physical, a kind of landing in the body's deepest knowing. Oh, there you are, the somewhere inside says, I've been keeping your place. Homecoming is the return to yourself. Homecoming is the finding on the shelf of everything you set aside in the busy years, all the things you were before the changes. Homecoming feels like the truest welcome. Come home to yourself before you come home anywhere. The geography will follow from the inner. If you know the way back to your own center, you will always have a place to go. Homecoming is not a single moment, it is a practice and a daily turning back toward the self that waited patiently for you to finally make it back. Homecoming, I practice it each morning. Homecoming, when I feel myself departing, in the pause before the day begins, in the quiet after it has ended. Homecoming is the work that never ends. Homecoming, I'm coming home, still coming home. You do not have to be good, you do not have to walk 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. I did not write those words, but I've lived them, trying to remember in the hard and heavy days that the soft animal knows things the mind forgets. The soft animal wants the warm and the familiar, the texture of the trusted and the gentle. It wants to rest when resting is required, and reach for joy when joy becomes available. I have overruled it in the name of productivity, in the name of meeting the expectations. But the soft animal kept its own accounting and has recently submitted the invoice. The soft animal needs what it needs. The soft animal plants what it seeds in the body's oldest wisdom, in the wanting and the resting. The soft animal knows the way back home. The soft animal is asking, the sleep and the good food and the being held, the slow morning and the unhurried evening, the company that doesn't require performance. The soft animal is not your lesser self, it is your most essential one, and it has been waiting very patiently for you to come back down to it. I've spent a lot of time making maps of my interior, noting where the rivers of feeling run and where they go underground for years, where the mounds of old grief still stand and where the valleys open into something lighter. The maps of the interior are never finished. The territory keeps on rearranging. Some regions I avoid by a long habit, knowing they are difficult terrain. But the avoidance has its own topography, a blank space that takes up too much room. And I have learned that the unmapped territories are usually the ones most worth exploring. The hardest places in the interior are where the most important things are growing. Maps of the interior are what I'm always drawing. Maps of the interior are always being altered by the seasons and the changes, by the unexpected openings. Maps of the interior show me who I'm becoming. Come and walk my interior with me. I won't show you only the beautiful places. I'll take you to the difficult terrain as well, where the old things still have work to do. Maps of the interior are how I offer intimacy, not the curated and the chosen, but the whole and honest territory. Maps of the interior are still being written. Maps of the interior are still being given to the ones who earn the seeing, to the ones who keep on walking. Maps of the interior are the most honest thing I have. Maps of the interior still being made, still being made. I am staging a quiet revolution against the noise that calls itself ambition, against the rushing that pretends to be aliveness, against the more that never once becomes enough. My revolution has no flag or slogan, no manifesto and no midnight meeting, only the daily choice to move more slowly and to notice what the speed had been obscuring. The quiet evolution is internal. It shows its progress only to the careful watcher, who notices the way the shoulders have descended and the breath has found a less constricted path. It shows in what I no longer say yes to and in what I have permission to refuse. The quiet revolution is not passive. It is the most demanding choice I've made. The quiet revolution is already underway. The quiet revolution changes what I say to the world and to myself, in the choosing and refusing. The quiet revolution is the life I You can join the choir revolution. There is no enrollment and no ceremony. You begin it in an ordinary moment, when you choose the depth instead of the surface, when you let the urgent wait a little longer, when you turn toward what is truly asking. The choir revolution is available to anyone who stops long enough to hear it. The choir revolution. I am living it daily. The choir revolution is changing me slowly. In the space I'm learning to protect, in the voice I'm learning to respect. The choir revolution is the most important thing I do. The choir revolution, ongoing, ongoing. Do you remember who you were before the fear arrived and made itself at home? Before the world had catalogued your failures, and you had learned to expect its disapproval. There was a version of you that moved more freely, that reached for things without the calculation. Before you were afraid, you were magnificent in the unguarded and unmediated way. I am not talking about naivety. I know the world has earned its caution. The things that made you careful had their reasons, and the reasons were not small or easy. But somewhere in the building of the armor, the person who put it on got sealed inside, and now we need to find a way to reach them, to say the armor served its purpose. Now come out. Before you were afraid, you knew your own name clearly. Before you were afraid, you moved without apology. That person hasn't gone, they are waiting in the silence. Before you were afraid is who you still are underneath. The fear was not wrong to come, it came because it had to. But it was meant to be a visitor, not a permanent resident. Before you were afraid is not afternoon that photographers call the golden hour, when the light goes warm and long and slanted, and everything it touches looks like grace. I think of it as the last good light of day, the generous hour before the evening, when the world makes itself available to beauty one more time before it settles into dark. I try to be outside at the last good light, to let it do the thing it knows to do. There is a feeling it imparts that's hard to name, a kind of permission to be moved by things. The last good light makes ordinary beautiful. The tired face becomes a storied face. The mundane street becomes the amber painting, and everything is worthy of a second look. The last good light finds me if I let it. The last good light makes me glad I came outside, in the golden, in the slanted, in the warm before the evening. The last good light says, here is one more beautiful thing. On the days when beautiful has been elusive, go outside at the last good light and stand inside it without any agenda. Let it illuminate whatever needs illuminating. The last good light is not conditional. It comes regardless of the day you've had, and in its warmth is a kind of assurance that beauty is still operational. The last good light, I am chasing it always. The last good light tells me grace is daily, in the hour before the darkness, in the gold before the night. The last good light says you are still alive, and that is enough. The last good light is grace, is daily grace. There is a kind of love that isn't mentioned in the poetry of the young and newly feeling. It doesn't arrive with thunder and with lightning. It doesn't sweep you off your careful footing. A long faithfulness comes quietly and builds over seasons and through difficulties. Not the love that takes your breath away, but the love that gives it back when you have lost it. I have seen it in the old ones in the park, who walk together without needing to be touching, but whose bodies know exactly where the other is, and angle toward each other like two plants toward light. The long faithfulness is not the absence of the passion. It is passion that has learned to be a practice. face that shows up on the Tuesday when it's tired, and the Sunday when the weather isn't good. The long faithfulness is the love I wanna grow toward. The long faithfulness is the love that I want shown toward me. Not the firework and the promise, but the showing up regardless. The long faithfulness is the most romantic thing I know. When the young ones speak of love, I think of the long faithfulness, the version they haven't reached yet, that takes the years to understand. It is not less than what they're feeling, it is more than they can currently imagine. A love so old it has become a landscape that you live inside without noticing its size. The long faithfulness is what I'm building toward. The long faithfulness is every day I choose it, in the ordinary, showing up in the choosing not to leave. The long faithfulness is the love that holds the world together. The long faithfulness is enough, has always been more than enough. Some things don't announce themselves with fire. They come in quietly and take their time. A warmth that builds beneath the ordinary, a feeling you can't name until it's yours. I didn't notice it at first arriving, the way it settled gently in my days. But slow things have a permanence that flash things don't, and this one stayed when everything else moved. I have known the kind of love that dazzled, that came in loud and took up all the air. It burned bright and it burned fast and it burned out and left me standing in the empty after. But this is different, this is underground, a river moving under everything I do. I find it in the places I stop looking, and it finds me in the quiet of the true slow burn, the best kind there is. Slow burn, building into this, not the firework and the fading, but the hearth that keeps on glowing. Slow burn. time it needs. Don't rush what wants to deepen. The slow things earn their permanence in ways the quick things never do. A slow burn is a promise that the warmth is being built to stay, and what is built to stay is worth the waiting for. Slow burn, I trust this now. Slow burn, I'm learning how to let the good things come in slowly, and to let the roots go deeply. Slow burn is the one I choose. Slow burn, still burning, still warm, still warm. There are places inside me that no one has been to, not because they're hidden, but because they're quiet. They don't announce themselves or ask for visitors. They simply wait in case someone is patient enough. I have only found them in the long hours when the busy world has finally gone to sleep. In the unmapped places I immerse myself without the usual translations. I tried for years to chart them, for another to hand them a map of what I couldn't show. But maps of inner countries are imprecise, and the territory keeps on shifting. So now I take people there by other means, by the things I make and what I let them hear, by the way I sit with them in silence, by the spaces that I leave inside my words. The unmapped places are where I live the most. The unmapped places are not a thing to boast, but a wilderness of self that keeps on growing, too alive for any kind of show. In the unmapped places are the realest parts of me. If you wanna know me, don't read the summaries. Come and walk a while in the less traveled territories. The unmapped places take some finding, but the finding is the point. What is easy to arrive at is rarely what you came for. The unmapped places I am learning to be proud of. The unmapped places are the ones most worth the loving, not the polished and presented, but the wild and the uncharted. The unmapped places are where I'm really from. The unmapped places are Silence used to make me uncomfortable. I would fill it with whatever came to hand. Words and music and the hum of something running. Anything to keep the quiet out. But lately I have started listening to what the silence has to say for itself. And what it says is fuller than I expected. And what it offers is more generous than noise. Silence knows the things that words skirt around. It holds the feelings that don't fit in sentences. It is the pause that carries more than speaking. The held breath that contains the whole of something. I've learned to sit inside it without flinching, to let it press against me like a friend. Silence is not the absence of the something. It is the presence of the everything unsaid. A conversation with silence is the one I needed most. A conversation with silence is the one I was afraid of. But in the not speaking, something finally was heard. A conversation with silence said more than all my words. Outside it for a moment. Let the quiet be your company. A conversation with silence doesn't need a translation. What it tells you will be yours, and no one else's. A conversation with silence changed the way I listen. A conversation with silence showed me what I've been missing. In the gap between the sentences, in the rest between the notes. The conversation with silence was the most important one. Is ongoing, still ongoing. There was a year the light changed. I noticed it in the way the mornings fell. Something had shifted in the angle of arriving, and everything was illuminated differently. The same rooms held a different warmth. The same streets offered different shadows. I don't know what had altered in me, but the light agreed that something had. It was the year I stopped pretending that the life I had was not the life I wanted. The year I let the wanting be admissible and started listening to it more carefully. The light that year was not more beautiful in any measurable or quantifiable way, but I was more available to beauty, and the light responded in kind. The year the light changed, everything was possible. to my own eyes in the mornings and the evenings. The year the light changed, I finally came into focus. Simply ready to be lit from somewhere I hadn't thought to look. The year the light changed, I wrote it in my body. The year the light changed, I found what I'd been looking for, not outside in the world, but in the way I let the world arrive. The year the light changed was the year I changed. The year I changed. The year the light changed, I was ready. Grief does not move in a straight line. That much I can tell you from experience. It doubles back in circles and surprises from directions you thought you'd already cleared. I have been mapping mine for several years now, noting where the landmarks are and aren't. The cartography of grief is always shifting. The territory refuses to stay still. There are regions where it's very dense and close, where you have to move through it slowly, and regions where it opens unexpectedly into something almost beautiful. I have found that the grief country has its gifts, things growing in the difficult soil, a tenderness toward other people's loss, a knowledge that the heart can hold more than you thought. Cartography of grief is the map I didn't choose. Cartography of grief is what I had to use, but in the mapping I found something like a purpose in the going. Cartography of grief showed me how much I love. If you are in the middle of the grief country now, and everything looks like more of the same, hold on to the fact that maps get made by people who came through. The cartography of grief is not the story of the lost. It is the story of the one who kept on walking and eventually found the end. building. It is the feeling, the particular warmth of a familiar threshold, the way a space absorbs the lives lived inside it, until the walls themselves remember who you are. I have lived in many architectures, but home arrived only in certain ones, and always for the same recurring reason: the people who agreed to be the structure. There is a physics to the feeling of belonging. Something in the molecules relaxes. The body recognizes what the mind is still deciding. You are held here, you are known here, you are home. I have felt it in the improbable locations, in borrowed rooms and temporary shelters. Home was never the coordinates or the postcode. Home was always the agreement made between two people. The architecture of home is built of something softer. The architecture of home is what the people offer. Not the rooms and not the windows, but the choosing to be present. The architecture of home is love made into structure. The architecture of home is love made into structure. When the building changes or is gone, when the address is no longer yours, the architecture of home can be carried in the people. I've taken mine with me through every relocation. The architecture of home lives in who stays with me. The architecture of home is what I'm building always. The architecture of home is what remains when all else changes. In the choosing and the staying, the returning and the making. The architecture of home is love that knows your name. The architecture of home is love, is always love. When the party's over and the guests have gone, and the ordinary has reclaimed the house, what remains is what was always really there. Underneath the occasion and the noise, the relationship before the celebration, the self before the effort to present it. What remains when everything is taken back is the most honest thing you have. I have been interested in what remains, in the people I have known across the years. Not who they were when everything was shining, but who they were when things got hard and late. What remains in someone after loss? What remains in love after the ease is gone? What remains in me when I am not performing? That is the thing I most wanna know. but the substance and the texture, what remains is what was always true. Strip away the circumstance, strip away the favorable conditions. What remains in you when nothing is supporting it? This is the most important question and the most important answer. What remains when nothing has to is the thing most worth becoming. What remains after everything? What remains is the offering, in the quiet and the aftermath, in the honest and the simple. What remains is all I need to be. I was not always good at tenderness. I had learned to lead with capability, to show the world the competent exterior and save the softer parts for no one. It felt safer to be useful than to be vulnerable, to be admired from a suitable distance. But something in me knew the cost of that, and kept a tally of what wasn't given. Tenderness arrived the way most things have, not planned and not by my own effort. In a moment when my guard had simply lapsed, and someone caught me being ordinary. They didn't treat the ordinary as less, they held it with a kind of careful reverence. And I understood that I had been withholding something that the world had been waiting for. Learning tenderness is still in progress. Learning tenderness is the ongoing gift toward the ones I love, toward the ones I don't yet know, and most of all, toward myself. The world has enough of hard and capable. It has an oversupply of armored. What it needs and what it reaches for is the person willing to be soft. Learning tenderness is not weakness, it is the most demanding practice, to stay open in a world that closes, and to offer what it needs most. Learning tenderness, I am not done yet. Learning tenderness, but I haven't quit. Every time I choose the gentler answer, every time I let the walls come down a little. I have been watching trees for years now, in the way that only the unhurried can. And I have noticed that they do not rush toward any of the things they're moving toward. The growing happens underground before it shows. The reaching happens slower than the eye can track. And yet they arrive somewhere magnificent without a single act of urgency. Patience of trees is not passivity. There is enormous energy inside that stillness, a whole life's work of quiet determination happening beneath the bark and in the roots. I wanna grow the way that trees grow, with that particular combination of deep roots and long patience, and the faith that the light will come to meet me. The patience of trees is what I wanna practice. The patience of trees with their roots in what matters, not the rushing and the striving, but the deep and the arriving. The patience of trees knows something I need to learn. Every tree was once a seed that did exactly nothing, visible for a season, and then the nothing visible became the most visible thing around. The patience of trees is faith made into action. The patience of trees trust the process without proof. The patience of trees I am practicing slowly. The patience of trees is teaching me gently to send the roots before the branches, to build deep before building upward. The patience of trees is the kind of grace I want. The patience of trees is the grace I want. The grace I want. I am doing honest work these days, not glamorous and not particularly noticed. But when I lay it down at the end of the day, there's nothing in it I need to disown. Honest work has a particular way to it, a satisfying and uncomplicated heaviness, the kind of tired that comes from genuine effort, rather than the tired that comes from pretending. I have done both kinds and I know the difference. The pretending tired leaves you more depleted. There is nothing in it to recover from, because there was nothing given. But honest work, however small or ordinary, builds something that the other kind can't touch. A record of the self that can be stood behind, a life that doesn't need revision. Honest work is what I'm asking of myself. Honest work, whatever else is on the shelf, not the most impressive, not the most rewarded. Honest work is the thing I'll I'll be proud of. At the end of everything, when the accounting comes, I don't want the tallied highlights, I want the honest sum. Every day I try to do something real and unperformed. Honest work is the life I'm building toward. Honest is enough for me. Honest work is enough, is more than enough. There is a particular feeling of homecoming that has nothing to do with geography. It happens when you find yourself again after a long time of being somewhat lost. Not lost in the dramatic or the obvious sense, but lost in the accumulated small deviations that take you far from yourself without announcing that a distance has been growing. The homecoming can happen anywhere, in a piece of music or a sudden memory, in the face of someone who knew you before the drifting, in the unexpected return of something long forgotten. The feeling is unmistakable and physical, a kind of landing in the body's deepest, knowing, oh there you are, that somewhere inside says, I've been keeping your place. Patiently for you to finally make it back. Homecoming, I practice it each morning. Homecoming, when I feel myself departing, in the pause before the day begins, in the quiet after it has ended. Homecoming is the work that never ends. Homecoming, I'm coming home, still coming home. You do not have to be good, you do not have to walk 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. I did not write those words, but I've lived them, trying to remember in the hard and heavy days that the soft animal knows things the mind forgets. The soft animal wants the warm and the familiar, the texture of the trusted and the gentle. It wants to rest when resting is required, and reach for joy when joy becomes available. I have overruled it in the name of productivity, in the name of meeting the expectations. But the soft animal kept its own accounting and has recently submitted the invoice. The soft animal needs what it needs. The soft animal plants what it seeds in the body's oldest wisdom, in the wanting and the resting. The soft animal knows the way back home. The soft animal is asking, the sleep and the good food and the being held, the slow morning and the unhurried evening, the company that doesn't require performance. The soft animal is not your lesser self, it is your most essential one, and it has been waiting very patiently for you to come back down to it. I've spent a lot of time making maps of my interior, noting where the rivers of feeling run and where they go underground for years, where the mounds of old grief still stand and where the valleys open into something lighter. The maps of the interior are never finished. The territory keeps on rearranging. Some regions I avoid by a long habit, knowing they are difficult terrain. But the avoidance has its own topography, a blank space that takes up too much room. And I have learned that the unmapped territories are usually the ones most worth exploring. The hardest places in the interior are where the most important things are growing. Maps of the interior are what I'm always drawing. Maps of the interior are always being altered by the seasons and the changes, by the unexpected openings. Maps of the interior show me who I'm becoming. Come and walk my interior with me. I won't show you only the beautiful places. I'll take you to the difficult terrain as well, where the old things still have work to do. Maps of the interior are how I offer intimacy, not the curated and the chosen, but the whole and honest territory. Maps of the interior are still being written. Maps of the interior are still being given to the ones who earn the seeing, to the ones who keep on walking. Maps of the interior are the most honest thing I have. Maps of the interior still being made, still being made. I am staging a quiet revolution against the noise that calls itself ambition, against the rushing that pretends to be aliveness, against the more that never once becomes enough. My revolution has no flag or slogan, no manifesto and no midnight meeting, only the daily choice to move more slowly and to notice what the speed had been obscuring. The quiet evolution is internal. It shows its progress only to the careful watcher, who notices the way the shoulders have descended and the breath has found a less constricted path. It shows in what I no longer say yes to and in what I have permission to refuse. The quiet revolution is not passive. It is the most demanding choice I've made. The quiet revolution is already underway. The quiet revolution changes what I say to the world and to myself, in the choosing and refusing. The quiet revolution is the life I You can join the choir revolution. There is no enrollment and no ceremony. You begin it in an ordinary moment, when you choose the depth instead of the surface, when you let the urgent wait a little longer, when you turn toward what is truly asking. The choir revolution is available to anyone who stops long enough to hear it. The choir revolution. Do you remember who you were before the fear arrived and made itself at home? Before the world had catalogued your failures, and you had learned to expect its disapproval. There was a version of you that moved more freely, that reached for things without the calculation. Before you were afraid, you were magnificent in the unguarded and unmediated way. I am not talking about naivety. I know the world has earned its caution. The things that made you careful had their reasons, and the reasons were not small or easy. But somewhere in the building of the armor, the person who put it on got sealed inside, and now we need to find a way to reach them, to say the armor served its purpose. Now come out. Before you were afraid, you knew your own name clearly. Before you were afraid, you moved without apology. That person hasn't gone, they are waiting in the silence. Before you were afraid is who you still are underneath. The fear was not wrong to come, it came because it had to. But it was meant to be a visitor, not a permanent resident. Before you were afraid is not behind you, it is inside you, under everything. And every act of courage you perform is a small return to who you were. Before you were afraid, you were already enough. Before you were afraid, late afternoon. The photographers call the golden hour, when the light goes warm and long and slanted, and everything it touches looks like grace. I think of it as the last good light of day, the generous hour before the evening, when the world makes itself available to beauty one more time before it settles into dark. I try to be outside at the last good light, to let it do the thing it knows to do. There is a feeling it imparts that's hard to name, a kind of permission to be moved by things. The last good light makes ordinary beautiful. The tired face becomes a storied face. The mundane street becomes the amber painting, and everything is worthy of a second look. The last good light finds me if I let it. The last good light makes me glad I came outside, in the golden, in the slanted, in the warm before the evening. The last good light says, here is one more beautiful thing. On the days when beautiful has been elusive, go outside at the last good light and stand inside it without any agenda. Let it illuminate whatever needs illuminating. The last good light is not conditional. It comes regardless of the day you've had, and in its warmth is a kind of assurance that beauty is still operational. The last good light, I am chasing it always. The last good light tells me grace is daily, in the hour before the darkness, in the gold before the night. The last good light says you are still alive, and that is enough. The last good light is grace, is daily grace. There is a kind of love that isn't mentioned in the poetry of the young and newly feeling. It doesn't arrive with thunder and with lightning. It doesn't sweep you off your careful footing. A long faithfulness comes quietly and builds over seasons and through difficulties. Not the love that takes your breath away, but the love that gives it back when you have lost it. I have seen it in the old ones in the park, who walk together without needing to be touching, but whose bodies know exactly where the other is, and angle toward each other like two plants toward light. The long faithfulness is not the absence of the passion. It is passion that has learned to be a practice. face that shows up on the Tuesday when it's tired, and the Sunday when the weather isn't good. The long faithfulness is the love I wanna grow toward. The long faithfulness is the love that I want shown toward me. Not the firework and the promise, but the showing up regardless. The long faithfulness is the most romantic thing I know. When the young ones speak of love, I think of the long faithfulness, the version they haven't reached yet, that takes the years to understand. It is not less than what they're feeling, it is more than they can currently imagine. A love so old it has become a landscape that you live inside without noticing its size. The long faithfulness is what I'm building toward. The long faithfulness is every day I choose it. In the ordinary, showing up in the choosing not to leave. The long faithfulness is the love that holds the world together. The long faithfulness is enough, has always been more than enough.